You scroll past another video. You check your phone again. You tell yourself today isn't the right day. Maybe tomorrow, maybe when things settle down, maybe when you feel ready. Meanwhile, a man who commanded the largest empire in human history, who buried children, watched friends betray him, fought illness across decades, and carried the weight of 30 million lives, woke up every single morning, stared into the dark, and chose to become better than he was yesterday. That man was Marcus Aurelius, and he never once waited to feel ready. Most men are not defeated by their enemies. They are defeated by the morning, by the alarm they silence, by the mirror they avoid, by the story they keep telling themselves about why the conditions aren't right yet. Marcus Aurelius understood this before he ever put on imperial robes. He wrote in his private journal, words never meant to be published, never meant to be seen, that your life is what your thoughts make it, not your circumstances, not your inheritance, not the cruelty of others or the timing of fate, your thoughts. That is where every battle is won or lost before it ever reaches the world. There is a war happening inside you right now. You may not call it that. You may call it stress or confusion or just being tired. But beneath the noise of daily life is a man fighting for his own soul, fighting to stay disciplined when comfort calls, to stay honest when lies would be easier, to stay awake when everything around him encourages sleep. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He wrote it not as a comfort, he wrote it as a command, because he knew that the man who fails to govern himself will always be governed by something else, by fear, by appetite, by the opinions of people who don't matter. Marcus Aurelius prepared himself for the world before he entered it. He wrote that upon waking, a man should remind himself, "The people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly." This was not cynicism. This was armor. He was training his expectations so that reality could not ambush him. When betrayal came, and it came, he was not shattered. When illness took hold, and it did for years, he did not collapse. He had already rehearsed it. He had already chosen his response before the crisis arrived. Preparation is not pessimism. It is the discipline that keeps a man standing when lesser men fall. The trap most men fall into is believing that discipline steals from them, that it takes away pleasure, spontaneity, freedom. But Marcus Aurelius understood the opposite truth. The undisciplined man is the one who is never free. He is enslaved to whatever feeling arrives first, to hunger, to anger, to comfort, to the need for approval. He cannot choose his response because he has never trained his capacity to choose. Very little is needed to make a happy life, Marcus wrote. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. The man who masters his inner world needs almost nothing from the outer one. The man who has not mastered it will spend his entire life chasing what never satisfies. Consider what Marcus Aurelius actually carried. He was not a philosopher sitting in comfortable silence. He was an emperor who inherited plagues and wars. He watched 2 of his own children die. He was surrounded by political betrayal. His body deteriorated slowly across years of campaign, and yet he never stopped refining himself. He never used his suffering as an excuse to stop growing. He wrote, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." He believed this not theoretically, but in the crucible of actual loss. His pain was not an obstacle to his philosophy. His pain was his philosophy. made real, tested and proven in the fire of a life that never relented. Here is what Marcus Aurelius knew about obstacles that most men never learn. They are not interruptions to your path. They are your path. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The thing blocking you, the debt, the failed relationship, the health problem, the setback at work, is not evidence that your life is broken. It is the training. It is the friction that shapes the gem. Every man who has ever become something worth becoming was forged in exactly this kind of resistance. The question is never whether the difficulty is real. The question is whether you will let it be the making of you or the breaking of you. Anger is one of the great destroyers. It feels like power, but it is always weakness in disguise. Marcus Aurelius knew this from personal experience, having to govern men who conspired against him, soldiers who failed him, courtiers who flattered him to his face and plotted behind his back. He wrote, "How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it." He also said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him that performed the injury." Not to destroy your enemy, but to refuse to become him. This is the Stoic revolution. It is not passive. It is the hardest, most demanding form of strength to hold your dignity when every instinct screams to retaliate. Ego is the other destroyer. It whispers that you already know enough, that you've already done enough, that the standards others hold you to are beneath you. Marcus Aurelius was the most powerful man in the known world, and he spent his nights writing notes to himself about where he had failed, where he had been weak, where he still needed to grow. He never used his position as a reason to stop demanding more of himself. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Simple words, almost brutal in their simplicity, but lived consistently, they are the foundation of a character that nothing can shake. Not failure, not success, not the noise of other people's judgment. The man who waits for the right moment will wait forever. This is one of the quietest tragedies of a human life, to die having never begun, having spent decades in the anteroom of your own existence. Marcus Aurelius wrote it plainly. Begin. To begin is half the work. Let half still remain. Again begin this, and thou wilt have finished. He also understood that the past and future are traps. Confine yourself to the present, he wrote. Never let the future disturb you, because the only moment in which you can actually do anything is this one. Not next week, not after circumstances improve. Now. The version of you that you keep promising yourself, he can only be built right now, in this moment, with what you already have. There is a kind of man who does his duty when it costs him, when no one is watching, when no one will praise him for it, when it would be easier and safer to quietly do less. Marcus Aurelius was this man. He governed not for applause, but for principle. He who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe, he wrote. This is not poetic abstraction. It is the practical truth that a man who acts consistently with his own values needs no external validation to feel whole. His identity is not rented from other people's opinions. It is owned, built brick by brick through daily choices made in private, long before they manifest in anything the world can see. There comes a point in a man's life, if he is paying attention, when he stops asking what kind of man he should be and simply becomes one. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Marcus wrote. Be one. This is the identity shift. Not the man who reacts, who is pulled by circumstance, who changes based on who is watching, but the man who chooses in every room, at every hour, in every condition. Loss is nothing else but change, Marcus wrote, and change is nature's delight. What you think you are losing in this transformation, your old excuses, your comfortable smallness, your reasons for waiting, you are not losing anything. You are being freed from what was never truly you. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Marcus Aurelius wrote this while ruling an empire under siege, while grieving, while in physical pain. He did not earn the right to see beauty by having an easy life. He chose to see it despite everything. The only wealth that fully satisfies is the wealth of the soul, not power, not legacy, not the admiration of history, the soul. And he cultivated that soul in the dark, in private, through choices that cost him. It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, he wrote. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult. The difficulty is not the barrier. You are, and you are also the answer. You already have everything you need, not everything you want, everything you need. The capacity to choose is already yours. The ability to begin is already yours. The strength to endure is already yours. It has been tested quietly every time life pressed against you and you were still standing. Marcus Aurelius did not transform under perfect conditions. He transformed under the weight of an empire, grief, illness, and time slipping away. And what he left behind was not conquest or territory. It was the proof that a man can govern himself, that discipline is possible, that character can be chosen. Today is not too late. The version of you that you have been waiting to become is not distant. He is one decision away. If you can be anything in life, be a Stoic.